YouTubers, I am back with another braking problem brought to you by bad brakes. The Expedition having problems again with it. If you remember in one of my previous videos, I had a sinking brake pedal. It would go all the way to the floor, and I replaced the master cylinder, didn't take care of it. It turned out to be that guy way down there, that little thing you see with the tag on it, the ABS pump, and it was bad, and I replaced that, and that took care of the problem. And I didn't have a brake light or anything. They just would sink to the floor. I bled, went around the entire vehicle, tried to do everything to it, and the brakes would still go to the floor, but I replaced that ABS pump, and it took care of it. Now, it's been running fine for about a month. The other day, the brakes started going to the floor, and today, both brakes on the front of this thing is locking up when I'm driving. You let it set, it cools down, it's fine, but I want to show you how hot these brakes are right now. See the steam? These calipers? You can feel the heat just coming off of there. And the same thing with this one over here. So I've got a sneaky suspicion, I don't know if you can see that, but they're just really hot. I got a sneaky suspicion that the master cylinder is finally gone out on it again. This is not the new one. I had the new one. I took it off and put the old one back on because I was going to use it for a later project. But I guess I'll go ahead and stick it back on here and we'll see what happens. But if you're having a problem with your brakes going to the floor, and also both of your wheels seem like they're locking up, and when you come up to a stop sign, it doesn't want to go forward. You can kind of feel it. And if you smell brakes, that smelly brake pad burning smell that you typically can get, and I think some of you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a burning, a burning smell, I should say. That's what I'm trying to say. It's more likely something going on up here with your front wheels. Now, the back wheels are not locking up. It's just on the front. So what I'm going to do, we're going to swap this around. We're going to put the other master cylinder on here and see if it takes care of the issue. I know it's not the brake booster because I can take this guy here off and it's holding air pressure just fine. It's not leaking or anything, so I really think it's this here. So we're going to try that and see. Keeping my fingers crossed. I hope it's not the ABS pump again, but it just started out of the blue, so we'll see. So we'll go ahead and get the other one, and we'll stick it on here and see what happens. Alright, I think a lot of you know this already, but the first thing we got to do is pull this air cleaner out of the way. There are two little clips here. You got a wire here. You got a wire that goes down here. You got to move out of the way and just pull this guy out of the way here. Back this up. I'm going to try to be as brisk as I can because we got a storm coming this way in the middle of January. Unreal. It's 65 out here, and this is a great opportunity for me to do this. Now we got to go ahead and loosen the brake line. This one here is a 7/16, so we'll go ahead and kind of break that loose. I'm holding the camera free-handed there, so I think you can see that. Go ahead and break that loose. We got this wire unhooked, and this wire here, I try to unhook it when it's this is already off because you have to flip it upside down. There's a little release there, and I can never get my finger on it. I have to take a little screwdriver to pop it off. And then we got these two 15mm bolts here we got to take off, and I use a deep well and an extension, and that's why we take the air cleaner out, because it makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to set the camera down, go ahead and unhook this wire here, this hose I should say, or the brake line, and this one here is a 5/8. I need to go get a 8-inch wrench, try to say that fast, and I'll go ahead and pull this off of here, so let me go do that. Alright, we got that nut off there, which I said was a 15 deep well. And now we are doing the other side, and I think you can see here. Once you've had these off a couple times, you can take them off with your fingers pretty much once you break them loose. And you can see, I can probably just twist that. Yep. Pretty much on my own. And everything's unhooked except for that wire there. Like I said, we'll pop that off, flip it upside down, and take that wire off. It's just a lot easier to see it, so we don't break it. Also, make sure before you start this job that you have some extra brake fluid. Don't do it and realize you don't have any brake fluid in your garage. You have to call somebody, I guess, and go get some. So we'll take this off now. Okay, and like I said, I flip it upside down because you got this clip right there. And I'm trying to do this holding the camera at the same time, and there it is. It's a release clip. I'll have to take both hands and release that. Okay, and out it comes, and you can see that clip there, the connector. We'll set this off over here, and here is the connector. You got to push up on that little tab right there. All right, now we'll go in there and get the other one. We'll clean it up and stick it on here, and hopefully this will take care of our sinking brake problem and the front both calipers locking up. All right, there's the old one, and now we've got the new one started on here. We'll go ahead and start tightening up some brake lines. I got the 2 bolts on, and we'll hook the other brake line up and hook some wires up here, and we'll got brake fluid in it already, and we'll go in there and pump it up. Now, before you start your car, make sure you pump your brakes first. Get the air out of the system, then start your car, because if you start your car up and just hit your brakes, it's going to go all the way to the floor. But pump the brakes before you start your car up. So I'll go ahead and finish up here. I'll set the camera down, we'll tighten this up and see what we get. All right, like I said, it's all back together. Now, there are a couple things you can do. Fill it up now. Go ahead and put the cap on, and it's pretty well full. And we can bleed this real quick. Some people call it bench bleeding, but I like to do it when it's on the vehicle. So what you got to do is go inside, brake a few times, and get you a board, about a 2-foot board, to put up against the seat, and so it'll hold that pedal down. And what we'll do now, well, before you put the board on, pump the pedal, get it nice and hard, and then put the board there. And now we go outside, and we simply take our wrench and we get it on the bleeder there, not the bleeder, the line, and we just back it off a little bit, and that pedal in there will drop to the floor a little bit, and we simply tighten it back up. And since we have 2 lines, we'll have to do this 2 times. So we go back inside, we take our board out, and we pump the brakes some more, and we put the board back in again. This is what you got to do when you're by yourself. So go over to the other line. It's getting late, I think you can see that, and we'll break that line loose, and out comes the fluid there, and we'll simply tighten it back up. Now, you may have to do this process a couple of times, but in theory, once you do this a couple of times, your brake pedal should come back up, and it should be nice and hard. But before you start the car, like I said, make sure you pump the car. Make sure you pump the brakes before you start the car. That way, you'll verify you'll have a nice full pedal. And that way, if you drop it in gear and you start moving, you can at least stop the vehicle and recheck your fluid level. Make sure it's still full, and start the car up, and take it out and see how it works out. And simply take the car out next, test drive it, make sure your brakes are okay, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back here shortly and show you the results. Okay, a little update. I got everything back together, and I took it for a ride, and believe it or not, my brake pedal is no longer going to the floor. I will have to change my connector around, because I realized this connector is a little bit different on this reservoir. But other than that, that took care of the problem, so I am happy that it's not the ABS down there, because I just replaced that not too long ago. But if your pedal is going to the floor, and you don't have a brake light coming on, you might want to change the master cylinder first. And if that doesn't work, then you'll probably have to start dealing with your ABS pump, like I did in one of my previous videos where I couldn't figure out what was going on, and it turned out to be the ABS pump. So that took care of the problem. My brakes are nice and hard, and it stops really good, and the pedal doesn't go to the floor no more, because it's kind of scary when it does it sometimes. So there you go. I thought I'd just make a quick video, and hopefully if you guys are having that problem, that'll take care of it. So just in time, looks like we're going to get some rain. And I'm sorry I didn't get to show you how to put this on, but it's very simple. You got the 2 bolts in the back, the 15 millimeter, and you got your 2 little brake lines there, and a plug. This plug here is for your cruise control, by the way. This master cylinder is cheaper, believe it or not. If you buy the one and you don't have the cruise control, it costs more. Don't ask me why, but this one is the cheaper one. It was about $42. And make sure you get your bolts real tight down there, and check your brake fluid level, and that's about all there is, what I'm trying to say. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Until we talk next time, be safe and be careful. And remember, don't pull your hair out. You can get it done sooner or later and figure it out.